Hey, welcome. So if you're learning Spanish, chances are you've looked at a verb chart and just felt, well, a little lost. I totally get it. But what if I told you it's not about memorizing a million different words? What if it's about cracking a simple code, a pattern that once you see it unlocks literally thousands of verbs? Let's crack this thing together. So what is the actual secret to using Spanish? To talk about your life, what you do, what you eat, where you live. Well, I'll tell you right now, it is not about memorizing endless charts. It all boils down to just 3 simple endings. That's it. We can take this huge, intimidating world of verbs and simplify it all to just these 3. And this is where we bring order to the chaos. Believe it or not, every single regular verb in Spanish, and yet there are a ton of them, fits perfectly into one of 3 families. You can think of them like 3 teams. And once you know what team a verb plays for, you instantly know its entire playbook. So here they are, our 3 families. First up, you've got the verbs that end in AR. These are words like amar, to love, jugar, to play, or bailar, to dance. Next, we have the verbs ending in ER, like comer, to eat, beber, to drink, and leer, to read. And finally, our third group, the verbs ending in IR, like vivir, to live, escribir, to write, or recibir, to receive. And that's kind of the whole system. Any regular verb you stumble upon will have one of these 3 endings. Simple as that. All right, now that we've got our verbs sorted into their families, it is time for the big reveal. There is one simple 3-step formula that works for every single one of them. This is the master key, the secret sauce that lets you take a verb in its basic form and actually use it in a sentence. And here is that formula. It's so easy, just 3 little steps. First, you start with the basic verb, the infinitive, like amar. Second, you just chop off that family ending, the AR, ER, or IR. So for amar, we get rid of the AR and we're left with the stem, And finally, step 3, you add a new ending based on who is doing the action. So if it's I, you add an O. You take plus O and you get amo, I love. This little trick works every single time. Okay, let's put this formula to the test. And we're going to start with our first family, the AR verbs. Why here? Because these guys are the most common verbs in all of Spanish. If you can get these down, you've already unlocked a massive chunk of the language. All right, check this out. We're using our example amar. See how the stem, stays exactly the same all the way down? The only thing changing is that little ending. For yo, or I, it's o, amo. For tú, or you, it's us, amas. For he, she, or the formal you, él, ella, usted, it's ama. Then for the plural folks, nosotros, or we, gets amos. Vosotros, you all, gets ais. And ellos, ellas, ustedes, or they, get an. See? It's a clean, predictable pattern. It's powerful. You ready for a fantastic shortcut? Seriously, this is a good one. When we look at our next 2 families, the ER and the IR verbs, you basically get 2 for the price of 1. Their patterns are so incredibly similar, it makes learning them together an absolute breeze. Let's take a peek at an ER verb, comer, to eat. We're going to use the exact same formula. We remove that ER ending to get our stem, com, and now we just add our new endings. See anything familiar? That's right, the yo form is still o, como. The other endings are just a little different, mostly using an E sound where the AR verbs used an A. So we've got es, hemos, es, and en. And now for our last family, the IR verbs. Let's use vivir, to live. So the stem is viv. Now take a look at those endings. Vivo, vives, vive, viven. They look almost identical, like a carbon copy of the ER verb endings we just saw. But there are 2 very small, very important differences. Can you spot them? And here is the big reveal. When you put the endings for ER and IR verbs right next to each other, you see just how alike they are. I mean, look, the forms for I, you, he, she, and they are 100% identical. The only 2 spots where they differ are for we and you all. For we, ER verbs use emos, while IR verbs use emos. And for you all, it's ace versus is. That is it. So if you learn one of these patterns, you've pretty much already learned the other. Okay, so we've done it. We've cracked the code, we've seen the 3 families, we have the one simple formula that rules them all, and we've even spotted the shortcuts. The theory part is over. Now it's your turn to actually put this code to work. You know, our source material from profe.del.es leaves us with a really direct challenge. It says, identifica los verbos en presente. That means identify the verbs in the present tense. So the next time you're reading something in Spanish or listening to a song, don't just let the words flow past you. Actively look for these patterns. Listen for those endings we talked about. O, as, a, s, a. Start finding the code out there in the wild. And hey, if you want to go from just spotting these verbs to really using them yourself, the creator of our source material has some awesome activities just waiting for you. For more hands-on practice, you can go and complete the exercises they've got on their website, profe.del.es. So, think about it. We started with this idea of thousands of random, scary verbs, and we've boiled it all down to just 3 families and one simple formula. You officially have the key to express what's happening right now in Spanish. You've got the code. So my only real question for you is, now that you have it, what are you going to say first?